You know that young people are going to look up to you. So you've got to be a role model.
That's why you have to be real. A role model. I want to be, instead of a role model, I want to be a real model. Because a role is a role. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. Because a role model got to play a role, and a real model got to be real. And if I'm a real model, all I got to do every day is wake up and be myself, you know? And I think my thing is I really don't... Dudes just want to live a character. They want to be cartoons. But
On September 7th, 1996, the world was told Tupac Shakur was shot and would end up dying in 7 days on the 13th in Las Vegas, Nevada. Have you ever heard of the Interscope Records rapper Akil the MC?
That's me and 40 in that So Many Tears video at the church.
Oh shit, tell me about that, yo. That video shoot. I never heard nobody talk about that video shoot, yo.
Yeah, he was locked up when he did that video. That was a double in the video. That was like a dude who kind of looked like him or whatever.
Yeah. At the end above the rim, there's a lookalike. There's a lookalike. There's a lookalike at the end of above the rim.
I gotta go back.
Hold on, now the end of above the rim is when he goes.
We're on the court.
You're on the court, and he like he hands
If you look at that, they're using the same shots. I hate to sort of go into the magic of the movie, but yeah, they're using a close up of Tupac to show aggression on the court. At that time, he was not around anymore. He had shot that already, and then they just kept on using the same stuff for Tupac.
But he handed you the duffel bag, though.
They shot that already, but there was more to shoot. So they ended up cutting out stuff and taking stuff away and reshaping the movie, because at the end of the movie, he was shot in real life.
Wow, that's great. I gotta go back and look at that.
And I lived up the block from Pac when he got shot. I was on 48th. I lived on 48th between 8th and 9th.
Oh, he was living in New York at the time.
Yeah.
So when Marlon shot him, that was really him, though, at the end, right?
When Marlon shot him, what you mean?
And above the rim.
I'm not sure. I have to look at it to see, because when I look at it, I see the because I see it.
Right, because
I see the
what happened.
The what do you call it? Lookalike. But I'm gonna tell you, the guy looks just like Tupac.
Where the hell is he now?
I'm wondering that myself. But yeah, I was just thinking that, like, where's that dude? But I just saw a little bit of the Tupac movie maybe a few months ago.
The one that Benny Boom.
Because I know, yeah. No, LT like Hutton, LT Hutton.
LT Hutton and Benny Boom.
Yeah, and Benny Boom together. Yeah. I saw some of that, and that guy, he looks like Tupac, but this is the other guy. He was just a spitting image of Tupac.
Anyone watching this video can go on the internet and see that there were 2 Tupacs at the MGM the night of the Mike Tyson fight. The Tupac pictured in the left picture has stubble around his goatee. The Tupac in the right picture has no stubble and he's perfectly groomed. Both of these Tupacs were at the MGM the night of the Mike Tyson fight. Yeah, now wait till you find out who took this famous last picture right here of him and Suge. Now get this, the dude that took that last pic, he works for the film industry, providing cars for them, it says. Hey, and this man is so good at working his car magic that Hollywood hired him to do Training Day, The Fast and the Furious, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And after that, they literally drive down the road a little bit, and they bump into these girls. These girls pictured on the top right here were the girls that screamed, "Hey, Tupac!" They were on A&E in a show called Who Killed Tupac, Episode 1. That girl in the middle in the top picture right there, one of the girls from the car that screamed, "Hey, Tupac," is that girl on the bottom from California Love. She's an actress, y'all. Works for the film industry, just like Homeboy that did the cars. Then after that in the story, when Pac is shot, they show us this girl that says Pac got in the helicopter. Yeah, and she's so good at what she does that she went on to become the host of Extreme Makeover, the home edition. Paige Christina Huff Hemis. This says prior to her television career, Hemis was known for her interview after the Tupac shooting in Vegas in September 1996. She was never interviewed again, nor asked to provide that footage to this very day. So this is definitely the woman we're talking about. Hey, so in conclusion, let's look at how ridiculous this is. There's 2 Tupacs at the MGM the night of the Mike Tyson fight. One has stubble, one doesn't. Tupac allegedly gets in a scuffle. I don't believe that for 1 second. But anyway, then they leave, right? Then him and Sugar driving down the road, they stop at the stoplight and Leonard Jefferson drives up. The dude that's a professional stuntman, y'all. He can put fake bullet holes in cars and all that. He takes Pac's last pick. Click. They keep driving on down the road. Then they hear some girls, "Hey, Tupac!" They look to the side. One of those girls was just on A&E's Who Killed Tupac, episode 1. The redhead girl that I just showed y'all, and she's an actress, right? Anyway, bam! Then he gets shot. He's supposedly in the ambulance, according to Suge. But nah, this girl, we thought that was just a random girl talking about Pac got in the helicopter. Hey, she wasn't nothing but another industry puppet, y'all. Everybody involved in this entire scheme was. So are we to believe that any of this is actually real? Huh? Are we really to believe that that was a true story from someone that wrote a song called Guess Who's Back and said, "Now I'm sure to be rich" for 96, as in 1996? Can we really believe this is a true story when in the song Troublesome 96, as in 1996, again, it says, "God forgive me because it's wrong, but I plan to die"? Go look up the song Road to Glory. It says, "Let the world know I plan to die." So looking back on what we've said so far, the key details I'm noticing is a lot of plans and film professionals. So I definitely don't believe it's a true story, not for 1 second. And if I'm right, it will all line up. So let's look into the legitimacy of all of it. I hope y'all are ready.
When you scream fake dubs, who the fuck you mean?
Hey, I called Clinton Correctional Facility and I asked them, have you guys ever had an inmate with the number 9581140? Has he ever been there? And when she ran the search, the answer was no. Call him yourself. Hey, criminal records are public. Anybody can call or look any of this stuff up themselves. Okay, so here we are at the New York State Department of Correction and Community Supervision page, right? It says here that you have to put in a number only or a last name along with the birth date. So we're going to try that out. The first one we're going to try is Tupac Shakur. Let's do it. And as you see, there is a Tupac Shakur there. Let's just keep looking and see what everything they have on file is, though. Right? So it says there's no more names on file. And here's the Pac they had on file. Number 06A3103. Says this cat is only 40 years old, man. He was born in 1982. So now let's try Crooks, because his first name was Lassane Parrish Crooks. Supposed to put in the last name and the date of birth. Here we go. There's a lot of Crooks, but there's no Lassane there, y'all. Let's put some icing on this cake now. Type in 95A1140, his inmate ID number. Run that search. Never been anybody with that number on file, y'all. And the last thing I want to cover is how far back do these records go, right? Let's read what it says. Who's listed in the lookup? Individuals confined in state prisons since the early 1970s are listed in the database. So this database, the people that have ever been in this prison, goes all the way back to the 1970s. If you were ever there, they damn sure know. That number, that inmate number, is attached to any case you'll ever get in your life. Every time you catch a case, That's going to be your inmate number for when they incarcerate your ass, attached to that number. So all that, like maybe the files got lost and all that, no. I just read off the official website. Those records go all the way back to the 70s and they are legit and official. But the plot thickens even more. Let's take a look at some recent things that have been said about Pac. Angela Means just recently went on the Art of Dialogue and said that when Pac got up on her that she was 1.5 feet taller than him, describing him as a very short man, saying that she towered over him. Michelle A. from Death Row also went on Vlad TV and said that Pac was 5'4", describing him also as a very short man, just like Angela Means did. So how do we make sense of all that when we were told that Pac was much taller, right? It says he's 5'11" right here from what we were told. But remember, there was 2 Tupacs at the MGM. There was 2 of them. She said one got in the helicopter, and Suge said there was another one in the ambulance with him. If that's so, is that why they spell it like this, with a 2? Well, there definitely is photos and talk of 2 different Pacs. They look very similar, but have differences. One has a bigger nose and perfect teeth, and one has a smaller nose and is shorter with crooked teeth. Listen closely to what Suge's about to say right here.
I think that 95% of the artists, or maybe 98%, is influenced by Pac. Tupac was on a level where the Death Row Tupac, that is. You know what I mean? It's a big difference between Interscope Tupac and the Death Row Tupacs. The Interscope Tupacs, you might get a Tupac album and he might have 1 or 2 songs on there that was Tupac's, and you loved it. The rest of it was some shit that they wanted to do that you didn't like. The Death Row Tupac was like,
this is not the same Tupac, believe me. This is not the same Tupac, believe me. This is not the same Tupac, believe me. This is not the same Tupac, believe me.
So just remember what Suge said. There was a difference between Interscope, Tupac, and Death Row. Look closely at the difference in the teeth. They have different noses, and they also have different teeth. Because these are 2 different Pacs. And that's why they spelled it like that, Tupac.
See, I get a feeling there are 2 Tupacs. See, I get a feeling there are 2 Tupacs.
And this is the way Freemasons do it. You've got to find a way to say it without saying it. Look what Biggie said here. If Faye had twins, she'd probably have 2 Pacs.
I tell people, you don't really know Pac, because Pac don't even know Pac. He got the right name. There's definitely 2 Pacs there. It's not 1, it's 2 of them.
I think let's start with his name.
Could you please state your full name for the record?
Yes, Tupac Amaru Shakur. Tupac Amaru is an Inca name. The first Tupac Amaru was the last indigenous Inca chief to be killed and martyred by the Spanish conquistadores who came to invade the area of South America called Peru. After that, another Tupac Amaru laid out plans for the modern state of Peru, also killed and martyred by the Spanish people.
This guy that does not think Akil the MC is Tupac wrote this. Check it out. It's not convincing enough with just a couple of lookalikes of him to be him, especially the one you see in this picture. The nose is different. The ears are different. The teeth are different. The hairline is different. Then he goes on briefly to say that he thinks that that is not Tupac. And yet again, the reason for this is because there is 2 Tupacs. Look closely at the ears. I'm going to zoom in. See the shape of that? Look closely at the shape. Now his, over on the right, Look at how his is shaped totally different. These Pacs look almost identical, but they also have totally different ears. And that's why they were always wearing bandanas and hats, covering those ears. They have different teeth, different noses, and different ears. The word Gemini means twins. Listen closely.
Gemini, so I can handle the little double personality type. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. So it's cool.
People have an image about you. What would you like them to know about you in 1996, Tupac now?
That I'm a Gemini. Me being a Gemini, I am the classic case of a Gemini. You know what I mean?
No, what does that mean?
It seemed like the two sides of Tupac were constantly battling with each other. One minute you're spitting at TV cameras, the next you're talking about Shakespeare. Have you reconciled those two?
Hopefully. I like to think so. And then they wonder why we crazy. I blame my mother for turning my brother into a crack baby. That damn blunt. Niggas be tripping.
Twin brother, give us the lowdown on that. We really don't know. We've been
Twin brother.
Yeah, Pee-wee. I mean, people say you're a twin. You know.
Pee-wee my nigga, man. I just told y'all I don't have no family. Pee-wee my nigga. You know.
Be teaching you English and then teaching you how to understand double talk. Politicians double talk.
William Lutz, what is doublespeak?
Doublespeak is language designed to evade responsibility, make the unpleasant appear pleasant, the unattractive appear attractive. Basically, it's language that pretends to communicate but really doesn't. It is language designed to mislead while pretending not to.
You fresh out the penitentiary, you fucking work night, you know what I mean? People realizing what you go from a corporate world to death row. So all eyes is on him. It's gonna be on him. Which, at the same time, that was my little brother. His code name was Machiavelli, like mine is Simon. And if you know the story of Machiavelli, he faked his own death. But at the same time, you know, they wanted to put Pac back in prison. And Pac would fake his own death and disappear before he go back to prison.
As soon as y'all turn y'all back on me, I'll turn my back on y'all and we won't have nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and do something crazy. Cut my nose up and, you know, bug out.
Cut my nose up. And that's one of the only big differences between this man right here and Tupac. One of the first things people say is, yeah, he looks a lot like Pac, but the nose isn't right. On the night of September 7th, 1996, Tupac was seen wearing these three outfits: a green jersey, the golden long sleeve shirt, and a nice white and yellow polo style, whatever that is, shirt right there at the top. Notice he has the Machiavelli tattoo on his neck, the guy in this shirt right here. Here's the second outfit. You see he's in the green jersey, right? And then here's the final outfit that we've all seen him so many times in the last scene of the MGM getting in a fight. Now, we've discussed it many times before. There was two Tupacs that night at the MGM. You see one guy's missing the nose ring, and the other guy, his beard isn't cleanly shaven and groomed properly, the one on the right. So who's this cat back here in the background in this white and yellow shirt? Is that the other Pac? It's all been speculation until this video right now I'm about to show you. Hey, so the rebuttal they use is always that Akil was doing live performances while Tupac was in Clinton Correctional Facility, right? That surely they ain't the same people. You see Pac in that green jersey, y'all? That's definitely Tupac right there, right? Y'all just keep on looking, though. Hey, man, this is a clear moment. I don't think it's ever been shown like this before. The one with the Machiavelli tattoo, that ain't him in the green jersey. You about to see him, though, coming up. He's going to be on the right wearing that white and yellow shirt. Boom. Damn. Boom. Tupac's, y'all. On video. Same exact dude. Press rewind and watch that again. Both Pacs were right there. Same exact Tupac's right in this picture together. Look at that arrow pointing to homeboy in the background. Hey man, all these pictures, they done shaded him over the years and stuff so you can't peep game. But there's two Tupac's, and they've been telling us. Whenever forensic professionals want a positive idea body, what do they look at? They look at the teeth, then compare them with the dental records, right?
See if I'm a real person. Look me in my face. Look me in my face. Touch my hand. Shake my hand, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You never touched Tupac's hand. You never seen Tupac and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So how would you even know if I was or not him?
And why is he saying that? He's saying that because he knows it's all fake. Yeah, the reason he has the same scars, the reason he has the same teeth, is because this is one of the actors that played the character of Tupac. And that's the technical reason he can say he is not Tupac, because Tupac was not a real person. See the manipulation there? And not any random actor, an Interscope employee. Pay attention to how he's gonna say he did not mess with his eyebrows.
Have surgery and fuck up surgery, bro. Why would I even have look like that? Why would it fucking my eyebrows off? Why would I fucking like the person that I am, bro?
That runaway slave who misbehaved, ran away and hid in the cave for 10 days, came back with sun rays, eyebrows raised, I was raised vocally to spit.
And it isn't just me discussing this, there are several channels discussing this. Watch this. Here's 6 channels right here, all saying that Akil the MC is Tupac. 6 other channels, not just me.
And stuff, and you know, your shit was fake, and you know, you and Biggie, that whole East Coast, West Coast thing was fake, and you got a lot of people locked up in jail, and I'm like, who the fuck is jail behind these niggas right now? Like,
right. So this basically a bunch of schizophrenics have been.
So you can see they've already started their campaign of you're a schizophrenic if you're seeing through this. Here's when he went live and I asked him, what are we all to think when Michelle A. from Death Row says Pac was 5'4"?
This is Suge Knight's girlfriend and stuff, you know. This is not somebody that, you know, that has a credible testimony, you know, so.
What about Angela Means when she went on the Art of Dialogue and just said that Pac was 1.5 feet shorter than her? That's not Suge's girlfriend. Pretty sure it never has been. And having said that, is there any chance there's even more proof? Most definitely is. Shout out to Hip Hop Road TV and all the other channels that are spreading the truth as well. On top of having identical teeth, that's the same exact hairline. On top of having identical teeth, that's the same exact scar on the forehead. On top of having identical teeth, those are the same exact moles. On top of having identical teeth, that's the same exact scar in his eyebrow. Mr. Interscope. And he's leaving all kind of hints. Go watch this video right here. When he opens up the cabinet, look at the password 9696. Leaving all the little hidden messages we find in all the Tupac content. And I ain't mad at you. Pac gets shot. He gets put in the ambulance. Next day, that ambulance is across the street from his family's house. Because he clearly faked his death, and this is a message. And look who he took with him. Yaki Gaddafi. Yaki Gaddafi now calls himself Charlie Tuna. And is literally in a rap group with this same man, as you can see right here in the picture. This is real. Yet according to Interscope Records, all of these are different people with the same identical teeth. They're not recycled celebrities at all, not according to them. Yeah, smile for the camera, Yaki Gaddafi. Listen to what Idi Amin said.
The homie never left, and that's a well-known fact.
He said the homie never left, and that's a well-known fact. That's in the song Tupac Back.
It's a few people that
this
still
is a
walk
clip
this
from the
planet
channel
that can verify
Industry Hoax Revealed.
Exactly what
not my
Tupac
clip.
Shakur looks like and who he is. I'm one of them. It's a few people that still walking this planet that can verify exactly what Tupac Shakur looks like and who he is. I'm one of them.
All that in the same moles and the same spots. Same exact dental. Besides that nose job. Same scar in that eyebrow. Huh? Totally different scar in the other eyebrow, but the same still. So this is absolutely one of the men behind the charade. Hey, and just like the autopsy photo, look at the pocket to MGM right there, missing his Machiavelli tattoo on his neck. And as far as signs go, it literally doesn't get any stronger than this right here. Okay, so now what about Orlando Anderson? Just keep in mind everything that we've spoken about so far, and it's all going to make sense and add up. Do you see what I see? Look closely at the two different Orlando Andersons. Two different noses, yet very similar in appearance. Sound familiar?
Some of that, and that guy, he looks like Tupac, but this is the other guy, he was just a spitting image of Tupac.
And one has a small nose, and the other has a big nose. Not to mention, think of how dumb it would be to talk about a murder case you've been implicated in on the news. No lawyer would ever advise that in 1,000 years. But movies/productions don't work off of reality, now do they? If you think back to the fight at the MGM while keeping in mind that there are two of them, you'll notice that you never saw more than two of them on the screen in any of the footage, because it's clearly these two brothers playing both sides throughout the entire narrative. So follow me now. Now put each brother in the two different cars. One is the murderer, while the other is the murdered. See the duality in that? Gemini twins. One plays the good guy, while the other plays the opposite role. The duel of duality. Hey, and as far as secrecy goes, who better to do it with than your blood brother, right? And that's the reason Keefy D is never going to get arrested for murder either. It's fake.
I know from the business that everybody in this business is always whispering in your ear about what you can't say, what you can't do, what you can't wear in this world and in this world. It's two worlds, a white world and a black world. All I did was stand in the middle, you know what I'm saying, and say I'm living in both worlds.
Machiavelli had a thought that said a man should not live only one life in the world and fake his death and live many different lives. Man should not live only one life in the world and fake his death and live many different lives.
Yeah, and they practiced this by playing all of these different roles. Hey, on some level deep down we know it too. Look at this. Damn, he even looked like Tupac. Huh? Talking about, that's crazy. Yeah. Wow, his killer. It says it looks just like him. Craziest thing ever. Look at this. Crazy how they look like they can be related, it says. Oh, they are. Damn, got killed by a person who looks just like you. Yep. Come on, man, we know deep down he and Tupac actually look alike, it says. I mean, we know, man. Him and Tupac looks alike. A lot. Yeah, they damn sure do. He looks like he could be, what? Tupac's older brother. Damn. You see how on point human intuition is? Somehow we already know something was wrong with that.
Same vein. We fight to make it right, some would say remain tame, same crimes, even though the names change. Remain tame, same crimes, even though the names change.
There must be another route, way out to money in vain. I changed my name, played a different game, tired of being
teaching you English and then teaching you how to understand double talk, politicians double talk.
William Lutz, what is doublespeak?
Doublespeak is language designed to evade responsibility, make the unpleasant appear pleasant, the unattractive appear attractive. Basically, it's language that pretends to communicate but really doesn't. It is language designed to mislead while pretending not to.
That's the rule, y'all. You've got to find some way of saying it without saying it.
There are times when we simply cannot tolerate this language. When we talk about important public issues of national policy, we should not use doublespeak as a nation. We should not use it ourselves. We should not allow the politicians who are speaking to us to use it. Language that way can be terribly corrupting in a society and can mislead all of us. And in a democracy that depends upon the active participation of its citizens, it can lead to cynicism and resentment and a withdrawal from the political process.
And where are Biggie and Tupac?
And best rapper alive?
Tupac.
I was head of the department. I had to engage in doublespeak. You have to write recommendations. You have to write personnel evaluation forms. I had to pitch for more money. And so you use the doublespeak of bureaucracy as anyone else. If I were a bureaucrat who would function within the bureaucracy using straight language, I wouldn't be taken seriously. It's a sort of ritualistic.
And I know that my son was, he chose his life, and he chose, you know, in the end, he chose to leave quietly.
People had became Tupac fans after Tupac left.
A lot of people had became Tupac fans after Tupac left.
When he leaves, the question is how he's going to leave. He's either going to leave quietly, it's all going to be good, Suge's going to be cool with it. If Suge's not cool with it, it's going to be a problem because he's going. He's going to leave.
Yeah, and he's going to leave because it's already planned for '96.
He wanted us to be able to handle it when he left. You know, he knew he was leaving early.
Yeah, sure to be rich for '96. He definitely knew he was leaving early. Listen very closely to Mopreem's words. He's going to admit that Pac's alive. And watch his wife in the background making the horns of Satan to intimidate this woman from responding. This is Freemason stuff. Red versus blue, fire versus ice. Duality. They are the uniparty that underpins it all. Watch this next clip and you tell me if you think this family was ever opposing the government when they're doing the same exact signs as the government does.
Sports Online?
Okay.
Sports Online?
Okay.
Sports Online?
Okay.
Nice to meet you. So tonight we are out here, the unsolved the murders of Tupac and the notorious B.I.G. Tupac was your brother. Before we talk about the show tonight and before it airs, talk about the show tonight and before it airs, talk about the show tonight and before it airs. Is there a story you can share with us or a memory of Tupac that people might not know about him?
It's not a story, but just going through this process with them, helping them, but just going through this process with them, helping them, consulting on this. You know, I got to relive things that I forgot about, and you know, I almost forgot that I was with Pac and Big at the Garden when they were at the Garden. I forgot I was even on stage with them. But it's like, you know, I forgot I was even on stage with them. But it's like, you know, it was a whirlwind. The '90s, wow. So yeah, we were the voice of that generation. So you know. It was a lot of events that went down. It was a lot of events that went down.
recent years, we've seen a resurgence. You know, Biggie and Pac are always legends in the game and are never far from the conversation. When you consult on projects like this, does it reopen fresh wounds and make you a little sad? Are you happy that a story's still being told? How do you feel when these type of projects come about?
I knew that we were going to be legends. Pac knew he was going to be a legend. We knew we were on a legendary track back then. So with that, dealing with post-Pac, you know, post the legend, but it's not really post because he's still alive. Dealing with post-Pac, you know, post the legend, but it's not really post because he's still alive. Really post because he's still alive. Really post because he's still alive.
Yeah, whoever that reporter is, though, she got scared once she saw that Freemason sign, because in Hollywood, that must be a real threat.
Develop a thick skin in order to, you know, deal with our life in entertainment and the circumstances that we are here. In entertainment and the circumstances that we are here. In entertainment.
He just said to deal with our life and entertainment and the circumstances that we are here.
You have groups coming out, you produce?
Yeah, the Outlaws.
Oh, really?
I murdered Thug Life and gave birth to the Outlaws. I murdered Thug Life. Them niggas ain't act right. I murdered all of them, as far as the music business. And I gave birth to the Outlaws.
So to sum it up, in the same type of speech, they murdered Tupac and gave birth to Akil the MC, as far as the music business. So when Mopreem said to deal with our life and entertainment in the circumstances that we are here, he's talking about all of these secrets that they haven't revealed to the public in over 26 years, including the Tupacs and their survival and existence off screen.
You look at things and then you figure out how it's like a big plan to it. You know, it got to be a big plan. This shit is happening. Like.
Just wake up and realize that they're all on the same team.
To make people see it as clear as it is. Just like we on the same level. You look at things and then you figure out how it's like a big plan to it. You know, it got to be a big plan. This shit is happening. Like you can make people see it as clear as it is. Just like we on the same level. You look at things and then you figure out how it's like a big plan to it. You know, it got to be a big plan. This shit is happening. Like you can make people.
Take a close look at the Interscope logo. Instead of an I, they replaced it with a 1, and on top of the 1 is the Fibonacci spiral. That's all symbolism. Interscope is just the opposite of telescope, the word. It means to look within. And Interscope's parent company is Universal. These are the same people that give us all of our movies that definitely make us think a certain way. Think about every movie at the end, there's a certain moral, right? You learn that this is good and this is bad. It's brainwash, man. It's all programming. All of it. And whether it's movies, whether it's music, they're constantly programming our minds. All these artists here, they all are signed to Universal. These are some of the biggest people we've ever known in America here, guys. Right? They're all a part of the entertainment industry. This is all fake. It's all just meant for entertainment. What they do is they give these people background stories, though, because some of us like to know what's going on in their real lives. And they make that interesting as well, but it's all bullshit. It's all a lie. It's very occult. These people are deep into Satanism and Illuminati shit. And it's all meant to shepherd the thoughts of mankind. These are the influencers right here. And they've been influencing us for a very long time. Take a look at this.
Orange in numerology equals the number 33. The number 33 is a master number of universal service.
And if you do the numerology on the name Akil and the MGM, you'll see they both come up to the number 33.
22, and 33 are the three master numbers, the highest being 33. This highest of the master numbers represents the 33 vertebrae of the spine, and the resurrection and ascension of the Christos oil up the spine. Thus the number 33 symbolizes the highest spiritual conscious attainable by the human being.
Jesus died at 33. Remember the Machiavelli album.
Service. It, along with 7, is the divine number of completion and perfection.
Look how our biggest celebrities are tied into this.
This number is of an intensified vibration and potency. In spiritual numerology, the numbers in
I've been trying to teach my viewers this. This is numerology in English. Take a screenshot of this. If you do the numerology on the name Tupac, T-U-P-A-C comes up to the number 7. So, let me tell you a story. The number 7 was shot on September 7th. He lay there for 7 days total, just like the 7-day theory on the Machiavelli album. And then he died on Friday the 13th. The 7, who got shot on the 7th and died on the 7th day. This is all exquisitely and deliberately planned numerology. It's all been finessed and all been plotted and planned to fool and deceive us. Oh yeah, Tupac's. Look at the nose difference. Look at the difference in the noses. Big nose, little nose. Look at the teeth difference coming up. One dude's got crooked teeth to the right, and the cat on the left does not have crooked teeth at all. And there's a super nose difference. It's obvious in this picture right here.
1 minute you're spitting at TV cameras, the next you're talking about Shakespeare.
You see any tattoo removals on me? Huh? Do I gotta get closer? You see this line right here? This me, I almost lost my life about 2 years ago. My aorta tore. That's me. You see any tattoos on me? You know why I don't have no tattoos? Because I'm from South Central LA. And you know what tattoos mean? Tattoos, I grew up at a time when tattoos mean you banging. I don't have no tattoos on me. I ain't never had no tattoos on me.
Yeah, y'all remember this Machiavelli tattoo he had on his neck? Same tattoo right here on his neck. Y'all remember this? Hey, where's that tattoo at? On the Pac that was there the night they say he died, though. Where is September 7th Pac's Machiavelli tattoo at, y'all? Because that tattoo was not real. You're going to see that when I show the autopsy photo, I got it kind of cropped out, that it's also missing from the allegedly official autopsy photo itself. No Machiavelli tattoo. Because it was fake. Just like the rest of it. So let's just put this together real fast. We have 2 different Pacs. Every once in a while, one has to scrub the tattoos off while another one puts the same exact tattoos on. They look almost identical. Part of that identical process would be applying and removing these movie-level fake tattoos. And it's clear as day that that's what happened. That's just another little feature built in so they can deny it. And this is where you can really see the level of manipulation this industry will go to.
Taking this one to the whole nother level. Gutter step, thug step, feel things that we can only do as a real G. We ain't dead yet. This man got my Hennessy fine doing this one. Taking this one to the whole nother level. Gutter step, thug step, feel things that we can only do as a real G. We ain't dead yet. This man got my Hennessy fine doing this one. Taking this one to the whole nother level. Gutter step. Thug step, feel things that we can only do as a real G. We ain't dead yet.
got this video from Industry Hoax, y'all.
When the Pac died. Supposedly. I mean, according to what they say, he died September 13th, 1996. 96.
Right. I mean, according to what they say, he died September 13th, 1996.
I'm gonna tell you, it's a few people that still walking this planet that can verify exactly what Tupac Shakur looks like and who he is. I'm one of them.
But I'm gonna tell you, it's a few people that still walking this planet that can verify exactly what Tupac Shakur looks like and who he is. I'm one of them. But I'm gonna tell you, it's a few people that still walking this planet that can verify exactly what Tupac Shakur looks like and who he is. I'm one of them. And who he is. And who he is.
Okay, now, I know y'all find that strange. He's talking about he knows what Tupac Shakur looks like and who he is. What he's really alluding to is he doesn't look like the Tupac we are used to looking at, right? Look at them taking all the tattoos off of Justin Bieber and making him look like a normal person. And Pac doing all this Hollywood shit. Right? Hey, they made two people that might not even look that much alike. Almost look identical to where me and all the rest of y'all didn't know there was two Tupacs. We didn't know that there was two totally different dudes that played the role of Tupac, right? One with a big nose, one with a much smaller nose. Man, this shit's all Hollywood, y'all. All of it. That means that both of the Tupacs had the same tattoos. Now ask yourself this. Do you think both of their tattoos were real? Did they both need to go get tattoo removal? I think that's why Akil lift up his shirt and say, look, I ain't never had no tattoos, man. I never had tattoos because that means you was banging and all that. Dude, you ain't never had no tattoos because you pure Hollywood, bro. Them tattoos weren't probably even fucking real. Come on, man. These people got Hollywood powers, y'all. Don't be fucking naive and thinking they needed to get a tattoo removal and all this shit, man. Two dudes. Both had the same big-ass cross on their back. All that Tupac shit, man. Come on. I'm gonna post about it forever until people just finally fucking just, it like clicks in your brain. You know what I mean? Those tattoos were fake. There's so many people that posted, go, what is it, and toss it up. Go look at his tattoos. You can barely see them. There's whole frames where it looks like he ain't even got no tattoos. You know? Hey, this shit's all Hollywood, man. This shit's all Hollywood, y'all. They can make Justin Bieber purple right now and make him look like a fucking alien. They can do whatever they want. Y'all seen Coming to America with Eddie Murphy? He looked like a white, old Jewish man. Okay, now look at the picture on the far left, y'all. Tupac with a super tiny nose. Then we got Tupac in the middle picture. This is from the MTV interview with Tabitha Soren. Bigger nose, more prominent upper teeth. Same guy to the right. These are the same guy. But homie with the little nose right there? Come on, man. That's the character right there that Akil was playing. Hey, the way it works is when little nose Pac right here is off screen and he ain't Tupac no more and they fucking wipe the tattoos off. He goes and puts some fake dreads on and starts telling everybody that his name is Akil. He gets his homeboy to come with him, Yaki Gaddafi, and Yaki's out there telling everybody his name's Charlie Tuna. Like, this is the easiest shit ever. And they built it in the plan knowing they were both going to kill off their characters, y'all. Come on, man, this shit ain't hard to figure out. Hey, they're both running around with all the same access to Hollywood shit and makeup and looking different. Taking pictures, building a backstory. Knowing people are going to say, man, nah, man, you're Tupac. Nah, dude, I'm Dante such and such. Look, here's my pictures, man. And that ain't Yaki. Hey, here's his pictures. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Hey, everybody ain't stupid, man. Nope. We ain't even going for that, bro. We ain't falling for this dumb shit.
See any tattoo removals on me? Huh? Do I gotta get closer? You see this line right here? This me, I almost lost my life about 2 years ago. My my aorta tour. That's me. You see any tattoos on me? You know why I don't have no tattoos? Because I'm from South Central LA. And you know what tattoos mean? Tattoos, I grew up at a time when tattoos mean you banging. I don't have no tattoos on me. I ain't never had no tattoos on me.
By Odias 7, y'all. Subscribe, hit the notification button. Leave some comments, let me know what y'all think. I think none of those tattoos were ever real. I think they just put them on both them dudes every time. Just like they would in a fucking movie. You feel me? Shit was all bullshit. Shout out to Hip Hop Road TV for this video right here.
I heard rumor died, murdered in cold blood, traumatized. Victims of me in my final state, you know I'm a cry. Ask me why I'm hot, and my reply till the day I die. Don't wanna picture the cold world, so I heard rumor died, murdered in cold blood, traumatized. Victims of me in my final state, you know I'm a cry. Ask me why I'm hot, and my reply till the day I die.
What we're talking about is fake violence. All this, what we're rapping, it happens in the streets, but us rapping about it is not the violence. And the movie about it is not the violence. You know what I'm saying? It's an adventure world that we are creating. Now, in reality, I couldn't shoot him. Like in my rhymes, I would say, you know what I'm saying, pow, pow, you know what I'm saying? It was a shootout, but I couldn't do that in reality. But in my rhymes, it vents that anger because I can, you know, fire back at the police and won't go to jail for life. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's just words.
Right. I'm working on my new album, Troublesome, come out in September.
The night Tupac was shot, there were 4 women in a Chrysler convertible who witnessed what happened. I've convinced 3 of them to revisit the scene and share with me what they saw that night.
I know you've done some acting before, even like 3 or 4 movies. Was it something that always interested you? Was it like a natural outgrowth of performing?
I believe
rap is like more like it's like performance music.
But what it truly is I've always been an actor. And rap music, the reason I've been successful in the rap game, I think, is that I treat my albums like movies, and I treat writing it like I'm a character writing a story, you know, for each album, whatever I'm going through, whatever stages I'm going through. And I do it vividly with vivid pictures, with action and description and a beginning, middle, and an end, and conflict and, you know, redemption and things like that. So I feel like I've always been an actor, and acting is my first love. I went to school of performing arts. I studied. I wanted to be an actor, but.
And now has it become kind of like larger? You know, Bondi was talking about like being with you on the set and reading the papers that you're out like doing.
Yeah, and I'll be right there. Yeah, it is that, and that's what's. I guess that's what's frustrating and aggravating, that I can't live down this big shadow that I made to protect myself. Because it started out as just being, I need to get an alter ego to keep people away from me and to protect myself, which everybody does. You know, like when somebody breaks into your house and you know he's in the house, you wouldn't go in your real voice, "Excuse me, are you breaking in my house?" You would go, "Hey, what you doing in my house?" It's the same thing that I do, you know what I mean? If you're out in the wilderness and I'm just one sheep by myself, I wouldn't go, I want to say my next song, it's called, I would go, you know, "Woo, fuck the world," you know what I mean? And that's worked, you know what I mean? And not that it's like a total facade. It's me, but it's just blown up. And what the media does is, if you ever want to see anger, just he's the best actor in the world, and he'll show it to you. So that's what they do, and make it look like I'm just any guy in America when I'm an actor who's just playing this part so well that I look very angry. You know, not that I'm such a great actor, but anger is easy. Everybody gets mad. Everybody's frustrated, and everybody is fed up, so it's not a very hard part to play, you know.
No, you created like some.
For those of you that don't know this, M is the 13th letter in the alphabet. And is the number of the Freemasons because they were formed in the 13th century if you look it up. And everything about your normal life is drowning in this number. For instance, every one of us is subscribed 12 years of schooling, as we simultaneously go through 12 months every 1 year. Remember the first 13 colonies of America? Yeah. We find it in religion as well. Jesus and the 12 disciples, the sun and the 12 signs of the zodiac. Then we have it in our government system. 12 jurors and 1 judge. Huh? God and the 12 tribes of Israel. Wake up, y'all. We are all hypnotized and all stuck in the same 24/7 matrix. And the only way we're gonna win is if you crack those eyes open. And if you crack them ears open and you crack your damn mind open. Hey, it ain't time to sit around and hope for someone else to save us, man. We need to step up. We need to say something. This is By Odias 7, man.
Run quick, see what you be having now. You wanna ride or die? La da da da. Niggas can't see. Clear enough for you? All right. Yeah.
Here's the cipher right here. Add it up. CIA makes 13. Department of Corrections, the prison, makes 13. Department of Children and Families, yup, makes a 13, y'all.
I just got out of maximum penitentiary. I got arrested like 12 times last year, you know what I mean?
When I was pregnant in jail, I thought I was going to have a baby and the baby would never be with me, but I was acquitted a month and 3 days before Tupac was born.
Tupac, as in Tupac Shakur. On Thursday night, the rapper and actor was cleared of 12 sodomy and weapons charges and found...
People always talk about the money at Death Row. Where's the money? What about all them hits that Pac put out before Death Row? You guys remember Pac was on Death Row for 13 months. He was on Interscope with them for years, selling millions.
Lost in the world when 96 Bonnie and Clyde, me and my girlfriend doing 85 when we ride.
Look at the timestamp in the bottom left-hand corner, 0076. And we see timestamps like this whenever the government is involved. Now look at the timestamp. It says the fight broke out at 8:49. 4 + 9, y'all. Watch the signs, remember that? Add it up. Hey, count how many steps there is in this pyramid on our dollar bill that we use to spend money with every day. There's 13 of them. Yeah, now go ahead and count them 13 stars above the eagle right there. How about the 13 leaves on that olive branch? The 13 arrows that it's clutching in the other hand? Or the 13 stripes on that banner right there? Yup. Every part of your day is based on the number 13. You go through 12 graduations every 1 hour. Look at the clock, y'all. It's literally in our face from the day we're born. And it all goes back to Egypt. Hey, the Great Pyramid is 481 foot tall, and it sits on 13 acres. What's 4 + 1 + 8? All of a sudden, pictures like this with an Egyptian Ankh on Tupac start to make way more sense, don't they? All the main places we receive our information from, it's them. Look at Fox. That's why the number comes up to 666.
Little nappy head juveniles, living well, no smiles on our faces, 13 catching cases.
You just said no smiles on our faces.
At 13 years old, his family was the theater. And it was very strange because there had never been a child in this company before. But Tupac went to the company and won their heart because he was very good with his lines, and he also used to help them with their lines.
The first time he appeared professionally on stage was the year that Jesse Jackson was running for president. They were having a benefit at the world-famous Apollo.
1984, Raising the Sun, Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign. It was a fundraiser.
That's my problem now. That's why my mother threw me out when I was 13. Okay, Tupac? Yeah.
Yeah, look how popular September 13th is, y'all.
In New York today, pre-trial hearings opened for 13 of 22 Black Panthers indicted on charges of conspiracy to bomb.
13 members of the Black Panthers Party are on trial in New York, charged with conspiring to bomb department stores, police stations, and other public buildings. Most of them have been held in high bail and have been in prison since they were picked up.
And that was hard to accept, that she may go away for the rest of her life.
This is a trial that lasted for 13 months. Now they weren't the same rallies.
Party with the conspiracy to destroy elements of society which they regarded as part of, and I'm quoting the indictment, the power structure.
Before I became a parent, I chose to be in the Black Panther Party. Tupac stayed in my womb through hell. And
Bomb buildings and kill police. It's a beautiful victory.
we were acquitted 1 month and 3 days before Tupac was born. It was a joyous time because Tupac was carried under the worst conditions. And then lo and behold, here comes this healthy, smiling, beautiful baby. He loved life. It was like...
If you look closely at the Machiavelli album, there's 7 streaks of red, and he's pointing to A and E. A is 1 and E is 5. Plus 7 is 13. Look at when Biggie's album Ready to Die came out. On September 13th. The same date Tupac was going to die on. September 13th. The real truth behind it all is the dance of duality. Underpinning it all you see is fire versus ice, light versus dark.
1 minute you're spitting at TV cameras, the next you're talking about Shakespeare.
You have to look very closely and open your ears to what's truly being said. Always listen. Every week that you've ever lived, you've went through this. Look how Saturday and Sunday are spelled when we abbreviate them. And if you break those down, they're right next to each other. The Son of God, Sat, as in Satan. They break down to 4 and 9, which gives us a 13. This is a true example of duality that's a part of your life. We go through the weekdays, and by the end, we're told that we're weekend, and that's when this is occurring. So for those of you that didn't think you were in the Matrix, it might be time to go back to the drawing board and reassess that, my friends. You're in the Matrix for sure, it's just not the one from the movies. Matrix, God's creation, construct, isn't that all just double talk for the same reality we are in already? Every atheist I've ever met lives in this matrix, and it's very spiritual, no matter what any of us want it to be. In fact, the gravity of the truth is unshakable. Once you see it, there's no going back.
I think that if you take one of the O's out of good, it's God. If you add a D to evil, it's the devil. I think some cool motherfuckers sat down a long time ago and said, let's figure out a way that we can control motherfuckers. And that's what they came up with. I think that if you take one of the O's out of good, it's God. If you add a D to evil, it's the devil. I think some cool motherfuckers sat down a long time ago and said, let's figure out a way that we can control motherfuckers. And that's what they came up with.
The ancient Mesopotamians called Earth Ki. It means 7th planet if you were coming from the outside of the solar system in. Remember, if you add a D to evil, it makes the devil though. And D is the number 4, which you can clearly see is Saturn. Sat, like Satan. Urn, like the thing you put ashes in. Death.
I think that if you take one of the O's out of good, it's God. If you add a D to evil, it's the devil. I think some cool motherfuckers sat down a long time ago and said, let's figure out a way that we can control motherfuckers. And that's what they came up with.
So let's play the game of duality and flip this all the way around. Just like in the horror movie, when they flip the cross upside down, or when you play a song in reverse that reveals a hidden message. Look, y'all. Now Earth is 4 and Saturn is 7. See the perfect duality of that? So what is 7? Let's look at it and understand it, y'all. 7 is G, and those two pillars are 11. It's important to understand this because something very revealing happens when you complete the numbers. Counting from the outside of the solar system, coming in, you get to 10 when you reach the sun. The sun, y'all, and J is 10, which interestingly enough, in simple numerology, there is no 0. So in other words, you reach the 1. And if you do the exact opposite, you reach 10 on the other end, which is J again, making a 1. Because remember, it's Jesus and Judas, J and J, 1 and 1. Light on one side, darkness on the other side. And when you put them all on the page, you can see there's an 11 on the left side and an 11 on the right side. Look at the cover of Puffy's album. It says 1111. People think that's an angel number. Really, it just says 4. Just like Saturn, just like D. And pay attention to the one-eye symbolism because it's all tied into the same thing. The planet Saturn has a ring around it, and from space, it looks like an eye. If you think I'm tripping, take a close look at all these major companies. All their logos have the ring of Saturn going around them. Major companies, y'all. Because they all worship Saturn. All of them. And the truth of it all has been hiding in plain sight, right in front of our faces the whole time.
Our calendar is not quite right. We're supposed to have 13 months of 28 days. With one day, the day of resurrection, Easter, as a neutral day. That's our 365 days. We've actually got 13 constellations, not 12. This same calendar is very close to the Mayan calendar, but it's also very close to several ancient Sanskrit calendars. What does sept mean? 7. I thought that was the 9th month. What does oct mean? What does nov mean? What does dec mean? It's supposed to be the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th month. Jan is 11. Feb is 12. March is 13. April is our first month. Babies are born in the spring, the 1st of April, Easter. This is the start of our new year. This is the start of spring when the flowers start coming up, the grass starts coming up, the trees start leafing out, the babies are born. That's the first day. Our neutral day, day 1, the day we rest and celebrate the resurrection, the new beginning, the beginning of Christ. April is month 1. And then we lost a month in there. Where is it? What's it called? We know what it's called. I'm not going to reveal it yet, but we know what it's called. But this is the true calendar. The Gregorian calendar is SMU. Shit made up by man. To keep us out of our natural cycles. We all vibrate at one of 3 frequencies. Did you know that?
To study this is to discover a whole entire new world.
From the business that everybody in this business is always whispering in your ear about what you can't say, what you can't do, what you can't wear in this world and in this world. It's two worlds, a white world and a black world. All I did was stand in the middle, you know what I'm saying, and say I'm living in both worlds.
Notice the sun and the moon, duality. Sun, the son of God. Lunar cycles, lunatics, lunacy, duality. And that's what the two pillars represent, light versus darkness. The first two pillars were a man and a woman, opposites, and that's why it breaks down like this. When you look at the story of Jesus and Judas, Judas was the 13th person to show up at the Last Supper, we see the same truth. Over and over again, the gematria behind the words reveals the truth about them to us. Just look really hard and see it for what it truly is. Look at the PED in his hat and the ring of Saturn built into the logo. P is 7 and D is 4, forming an 11.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on
The Tupacs, dead at 25. Biggie, dead at 24. Take them both, add them up, and you see it forms a 13, their favorite number. Because this was all scripted, and it's still being scripted, y'all. And the Tupacs are getting their star on June 7th, y'all. June 7th.
Yo, Piggy, man. Yo, Piggy. Yo, Piggy, man. We got it going on, baby. It's on and cracking, man. He's gone, baby. You the man. You the man.
the burning bed with the telling sign. Two high guns busting everyone, yelling everybody die. Why the fuck they fuck around? We left them in the fog, bleeding like a stuck hole. Me and my closest road dog. Left them bleeding like a stuck hole. Me and my closest road dog. With the telling sign, two high guns busting everyone, yelling everybody die. Why the fuck they fuck around? We left them in the fog, bleeding like a stuck. The burning bed with the telling sign, two high guns busting everyone, yelling everybody die. Why the fuck they fuck around? We left them in the fog, bleeding like a stuck. Burning bed with the telling sign, two high guns busting everyone, yelling everybody die. Why the fuck they fuck around? We left them in the fog, bleeding like a stuck. The burning bed with the telling sign, two high guns busting everyone, yelling everybody die. Why the fuck they fuck around? We left them in the fog, bleeding.
Crazy. What's really crazy is that I was there when Biggie got killed.
There's a lot of Pac wannabes out there, y'all, trying to be Pac, right? But ask yourself this, are they all doing that one-eye symbolism like Pac did? That's the big difference. That's how you know this is one of the players on the world stage right here. Look how Akil's doing the same thing that we see Pac doing.
As soon as y'all turn y'all back on me, I'll turn my back on y'all. We won't have nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and do something crazy. Cut my nose up and, you know, fuck out.
This is my last interview. If I get killed, I want people to have the real story. Troublesome 96. God forgive me because it's wrong, but I plan to die. Road to glory. Let the world know I plan to die. With the one-eye symbolism right on the magazine. Hey, they did such a good job with this here that there's Pac in the golden chessboard fucking pattern, right? Anyway, back to this Tupac wannabe shit. Hey, look at homeboy wearing the same exact pattern on his hat, right? All the other wannabe Pacs ain't doing that. Look closely at Orlando's shirt. Same exact pattern you just saw on Akil's hat. Which is the same damn reason Keefy D's wearing that pattern right there. Hey, y'all need a peep game, man. Hey, and this shit definitely ain't no fashion statement, man. thinking that is just a dumbass idea.
That runaway slave who misbehaved, ran away and hid in the cave for 10 days. Came back with sun rays, eyebrows raised. I was raised vocally.
And here's another chessboard right here. Fucking video Charlie Tuna made. Yaki Gaddafi, basically. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy's got a 7 on his chest. Doing the Pac thing, man. Come on, this ain't no coincidence. The people in these secret societies communicate through symbols. Look at the Pacs at this table on this Netflix show, playing a game of chess. So now ask yourself, why is Biggie wearing that around his forehead? Is that a fucking fashion statement? Is that skull and bones on Pac's chest? Some secret society club? Because, you know, some people would argue that all this one-eye symbolism is just a coincidence. But what I'm saying is we're seeing it over and over and over again with all the characters from this Pac shit. We talking about Biggie, we talking about Pac, all of them, man. Hey, why they keep doing all this shit? Because that's what they're a part of, y'all. People just trying to fucking deny the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? What's this weird little Egyptian pyramid thing they're doing with their fingers? Look at DJ Quick. That's the producer that made a whole bunch of songs with Pac, man. You know what I mean? You think Reggie Wright loves the checkerboard pattern on his shirt right there? Or fucking Gene Deal? You know, why do you think they got this in the background? Look at the couch right here Danny Boy's sitting on. They are communicating. It works the same way bandanas do in USA, y'all. You got a red one on, I know what that means. You got a blue one on, I know what that means. Pac was always rapping about the game. Listen closely to his interviews. He talks about the game too. Look at Pac's shoes. He's got a white one and a black one on. This is the game he's talking about, y'all. The game of life he spoke about. And it goes way back. Look at the original Tupac Amaru right there. The guy they lifted this name from. Look at his jacket. It's got the chessboard pattern on it. So this thing been going on for a long time. That's how far back it goes. That's why you hear Akil saying like that no one can change the game. And that's why in Game Changers, Akil says, how you gonna change the game when the game's already been made up?
I mean, for real though, but a game is a game. You know what I'm saying? How can a nigga change a game when the game is already made up? You know
no, I could feel you on that.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, you can't change the game. How you gonna change the game when the game came first?
Have surgery and fuck up the surgery, bro. Why would I even look like that? Why would it fucking cut my eyebrows off? Why would I fucking look like the person that I am, bro? That runaway slave who misbehaved, ran away and hid in the cave for 10 days. Came back with sun rays, eyebrows raised. I was raised vocally to spit.
Y'all back on me, I'll turn my back on y'all. We won't have nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I'll go ahead and do something crazy. Just cut my nose up and, you know, bug out.
Go look up Guess Who's Back. It says, now I'm sure to be rich for 96. All pre-planned for their characters to die and for them to exit the stage. These guys that are doing the one-eye symbolism and all the other shit without me saying it again. Look at the name of Biggie's album, Life After Death. Both foretelling their deaths through their music, both using symbolism such as the chessboard pattern you see in Biggie's head bandana right there, the one-eye symbolism you see him doing, the skull and crossbones on Pac's chest, etc., etc. This is the way it is, y'all. This is what went down. And I want to be clear about this next part, right? I think Michelle A. was purposely waiting 19 years to say that Tupac was 5'4" to suggest low-key that Akil the MC was Tupac. Why would she do that? Look at what she's doing with her eye in that picture right there. Because she's a part of the same clique. She also worked for Death Row and Interscope, right? Come on, man, put it all together. So this woman that's doing the one-eyed symbolism, that's down with all them chessboard peeps and shit, she's the first one to say that on the internet. The first one, y'all. Come on, man, put that together. Tupac had been declared dead for 19 motherfucking years, and you ain't said shit. No one ain't ever said this man was 5'4". And then you said that? Get the fuck out of here, man. Right in time for Akil to be coming out too, and us to be like, oh damn, this dude look like Pac, but he's too short. Yeah, that's real motherfucking convenient, man. We ain't falling for that. Credit to Industry Hooks for this next audio clip. It was me that provided these pictures though, for the comparison.
In his film that he debuted in, his character's name was Bishop. A bishop is a pawn and chess piece on the board game with two dualistic black and white pieces. Tupac's dualism. Bishop had two personalities, and so did Tupac. The game begins with two bishops. Tupac's film career began by him playing Bishop, which was a dualistic role. In chess there's good bishop and a bad bishop. A good bishop is a player with friendly pawns, and one bishop will be able to control squares of both colors and move freely among the pawns. A bad bishop is a bishop that has been hindered by friendly pawns. In Juice we saw a good bishop turn into a bad bishop. In Tupac's life we saw him go from a good Tupac to a bad Tupac. His two personas were merely pawns being dragged across this game of life.
Shout, yo, come on, yo. I'm on some different shit, bigger and deafer lyricists. I know you're hearing this. Big bass banging them hits. I killed the MC with that real live spit, so don't trip. GLOC, now they know me, homie.
We
Come in
living
and
nice
rip.
now, fuck the pro catch. Across dealing with international business heads. Right. While you're on the corner, pockets half dead. $1 in a dream, that's what the man said.
That's what the Fed said. Meters in the red, another rapper dead. 2 to the head, causing more blood.
All right, here we go. My every move is a calculated step to bring me closer to embrace an early death, right? Coming up next, 11 times 17 equals 187. That's the penal code for murder in California, right? Pac was shot on September 7th, 1996. It was all staged and fake. Here's his lyrics right here. Just read them. The man clearly was plotting to kill off his character, Tupac. Talking about he sold his soul right here. Read it. So the question is, what's going on here?
People that believe in God, there's something in the scriptures where Satan has to go before God and ask permission to tamper with Job's life. And so using those kind of incidences as a framework, people say that God insists that evil broadcast what they're going to do, you know, that they don't have a free ticket just to go and do evil, but they have to tell you.
So homie's up to his same old shit, man. Black Jesus, right? He's the way and the truth. He's trying to quote Jesus out the Bible like he's Jesus, right? Here he is talking about he's going to come back like Jesus. He's on the fucking album cover as Jesus. Right? Look at the thing behind Jesus' head and look at the thing behind Akil's head on Akil's own shirt. Yet on his last album in the song Blasphemy, he says the preacher wants me buried because I know he's a liar, denying all that, denying God. Go check this video out right here about him possibly being the Antichrist. This shit crazy. While keeping in mind that they have to tell you and do everything in your face.
God insists that evil broadcast what they're going to do, you know, that they don't have a free ticket just to go and do evil, but they have to tell you.
People go back to see what we was living like in 1996 and what was going on and how did we feel. I'm almost willing to bet my life, and I am betting my life, and Dog is betting his life. That is going to be our stories that they're listening to. Exactly. I can guarantee you. So what I would tell, you know, anybody who would listen to me is that, you know, you got to start peeping game. Peeping the game. Mm-hmm. The game is the game of life. You got to start peeping how they're doing it. Mm-hmm. And if you see it, you can see the little signs that says that.
Pictures of my enemies, family times. God forgive me cause it's wrong, but I plan to die. He can take me in heaven. It's to kill, so it's real like I'm catching cases. Let the world know I plan to die. If I don't leave with what I came for, I'm be denied.
Understand double talk, politicians double talk, not teaching you how to understand French and Spanish.
Have graduated to the next level, to be a player. Not a player of females, but a player of life. This game of life is a game, and you have to play it to the fullest. And I graduated, you know, I'm in college now. The college of life.
Getting shot, coming back, resurrected. Is this that raw shit, nigga? Check it. That raw shit. Brothers getting shot, coming back, resurrected. Is this that raw shit, nigga? Check it.
Let him blow up and do his whole show in the middle of my show. How I used to buy him shit and give him shit and never ask for it back. How I used to share. How I used to share my experiences in the game and my lessons and my rules and my knowledge on the game with him. You know what I mean? He owed me.
My nigga, I hate when niggas say they about to change the game, for real.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
and you know what? I think we niggas should just change the game instead of just saying they gonna change the game.
You really think, you know what I'm saying, niggas can change the game?
Yeah.
I mean,
with a lot of focus.
I mean, for real though, but a game is a game. You know what I'm saying? How can a nigga change a game when the game is already made up?
No.
Coley P exposed the killing agenda in rap.
In my lyrics, I get real lyrical, know what I'm saying? But it ain't about the lyrics no more.
So you feel like, damn, we forced to dumb it down now.
Yeah, I'm forced to dumb my, I had to dumb my music down, you feel me? Because if I write, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Too deep for them. You don't want, nobody don't want to hear that, you feel me?
It's more than just the music now.
Man, shit, modern day slave, man, these crackers, they got us right now. They got us right now. Well, y'all gotta be talking about killing each other for us to give you some money.
Man.
You gotta be fucking up your community to get you some money. You gotta fuck up, you gotta supply the chain gang for this money. You gotta send everybody in your hood to prison for us to be fucking with you. You gotta send your youth to prison. And that's all they doing. That's all they doing. Sending us to prison, sending these young niggas to prison. Come on, man, I know they got a contract with them somewhere. Oh, don't sign him, he talking with too much sense. He talking with too much sense. He telling them that they don't have to hurt each other. Nah, we can't fuck with him.
No.
Shoot him up, man. Kill a nigga that you know. Get him. You telling them what to do that's gonna keep this shit generated.
As real as it seems, the American dream ain't nothing but another calculated scheme to get us locked up. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other.
So in conclusion, is the game real? Huh? Is the game been real since day one, Adam and Eve and all that? Is the devil real? Well, our elites definitely seem to believe that, y'all. They definitely all seem to be all on some Hollywood Satan shit. Go look into it. You're gonna see how real it is. So you might want to reconsider. You know what I'm saying? Me looking at all this has literally made me reconsider. You know what I mean? They're not talking about Thor. They're not talking about any god but the God that you already know about. This man's pretending to be Jesus, right? That's a serious red flag. Serious, right? Go look at Prince's album. There's a 666 on it. Go look at all of them, man. I haven't even started talking about the rest of them yet. They're all not on Buddha. They're all on the Bible. They're all on Satan. They're all on ancient Hebrew stuff. They're all vibing on Solomon, the son of King David, from the Hebrew story about God and Abraham and all that. Y'all, you might want to take this serious, man, and reconsider calling out to God. Even the language we think in, y'all, has this written inside of it. Take the word love and say it backwards. It's evil. We don't say evil, we say evil, right? The word devil backwards is lived. The word holy backwards is Elo. That's the word for God. Elohim is God's plural in Hebrew, right? These are not coincidences, man. Hey, you take a concept as small as dog and a concept as big as God, flip those words backwards and you got both of them, right? Hey, none of this stuff is coincidences, right? Hey, if I write something down, they call that spelling, huh? Like I'm casting a spell, right? If I go on television like Pac got to and millions of people hear me, that's called broadcasting, right? Hey, the machine that you're receiving the program through is called a television, right? That's interesting because the word tele is like telepathic. Vision is obvious, a telepathic vision. It's a vision that you saw without it being there. And yo, peep this, you get to channel through it. Everything about that, language-wise, just says Harry Potter all over it, magic and shit, right? Because that's what we've been conditioned to believe. But you are in the game. This shit is a fucking game, and it's for real, for real. And you're gonna fucking die. Your soul's gonna die if you don't wake the fuck up and peep this shit. What's really popping in here? Huh? This man is a dark entity. You know what I'm saying? Peep him. Do not idolize this motherfucker. He ain't your hero. You know what I'm saying? If he was an honest dude, he'd have stood up years ago. He wouldn't be coming out now 25 years later. If he was an honest dude, this shit wouldn't be on Google talking about he died, you know, he got assassinated and all this story to make you think that the world hated him just like they hated Jesus. You know what I mean? And he had to do this, that, and the other. Listen, man, you need to peep, even if you don't believe in this, how much it lines up, right? The English language, we've been speaking this shit for thousands of years. And all this weird shit is written into it, right? Hey, for instance, if I have wisdom, that means that a wise mindset lives in the dome of my mind. Now, if I have that, I'm a wizard. You starting to peep this shit? It's called spelling when you write it down. Huh, y'all? Hey, this shit's real, man. I hope that this video truly touches some of y'all and gets you to reconsider that you might be wrong, man. Hey, yo, I was an atheist for years. I literally memorized everything. Gravity, all this shit. I'd get in all these debates with people and I used to love to just smoke them. You know what I'm saying? Just beat them up intellectually. I was wrong about all that, man. I was wrong and the proof's been right in front of my face, underneath my nose. It's been right in front of me this whole time. And I just hope and pray that y'all reconsider the same thing, man, and that some of y'all also come up out of whatever the fuck weird spell this is that they got us all believing in. Because it ain't real. It's actually all a lie. Right? Peep the game, y'all. Peep it.
Tupac was not the man like people think he is right now and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. That's the same way with Jesus and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Jesus became the man after he died. Most people that die become who they are, how the world believes them to be after they die and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got it twisted and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. That's the same way with Jesus and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Jesus became the man after he died.
And that's what happens. That's the same way with Jesus and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Jesus became the man after he died.
People that die become who they are, how the world believes them to be after they die and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got it twisted and stuff. Tupac was not loved like how you think he is loved right now. He ain't no fucking prophet. He ain't no fucking none of that shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy to me how you...
Hey, this is how you make a plan sound like a prophecy to people.
I think Pac, by most people, is viewed as the greatest rapper of all time because he had a futuristic pen about himself. His pen sometimes wrote the future, and it told a story of what it's going to be as opposed to what it is. And now it's prophesied, you're starting to see it and you're starting to hear it. And it makes him seem like one of the greatest philosophers of the world because his pen told you this years ago. He wrote what's happening nowadays. He's seen it. So it puts him on a level of a spirit or a god when you're able to profess and manifest that through your pen. Like he wrote his death before his death happened. He shot the video for I Ain't Mad At You a week before he got killed.
It puts him on a level of a spirit or a god. That's more Christ talk right there. This is all literally planned out. That's why it says, let the world know I plan to die. It's a plan, not a prophecy, y'all.
In every album, if you go backwards, people just get turned on to me. If you go backwards and you listen to the other albums I've put out, it was a prophecy. This album, Me Against the World, was made before I went to jail, before I got shot. And all I'm talking about is going to jail and getting shot. So it was a prophecy. So when the album comes out, then you hear about what's really going on in my real life. I mean, I don't have to say I'm keeping it real. You can listen to the music and go, whoa. You know what I mean? He said that.
When you do stuff like this, you make people think that you know the future. Especially when you tell them the future and it actually happens. Pay attention.
When the East Coast and the West Coast and the Middle America get together, we got power.
Right.
And that's when I won't throw it up no more. When we all together, they only see me doing like this. And that's when we closer to Armageddon. But we ain't there.
He said, when we're closer to Armageddon. That's the word from the book of Revelations about the end of the world, y'all. Peep what he's saying now.
If you've ever known that everything you own in this life, the next life, is all gone.
Everything you own in this life and the next is gone, he said. So is that the plan for the future? Is this man a prophet? I highly doubt it. I think they have to tell us what they're doing in advance, and there's a reason for it. Let's check it out.
That show children naked dancing around fires in multiple photo shoots. You don't accidentally put bondage gear with children on accident across multiple photo shoots. The odds of that being a statistical accident, you're better off. You can win the lottery. That's ridiculous. It was on purpose, completely satanic. They did it specifically, and they did it to show you and tell you what they're doing. One, because they're trying to assault your senses, and two, because if you actually understand the truth of Satanism, most people don't know this about the world. If you understand how Satanists work and think, Satanists believe in karmic retribution. They don't believe they're allowed to trick you. If you believe in Satan, if you worship Satan, if you're a Satanist, you believe it's important you tell people what you're going to do, because then you will not pay the price. There'll be no karmic retribution for your actions. So let me give you an example. If I sell poison apples, and I put up a sign saying apples, and you buy one, and you die, then you were poisoned. If I sell poison apples and I put up a sign saying poison apples, and then you buy one and you die, you committed suicide. The fact that I told you what it was means I'm not guilty. I didn't murder you. You committed suicide. So when you do bad things, when you do evil things, the Satanist handbook, you can look this up yourself, the satanic religion says, you have to make it clear to them what you're doing. And if they don't resist, if they don't stand up against it, then they are complicit. They're agreeing that what's happening is okay. So by telling you they're pedophiles and nobody do anything about it, they could sit there and go, well, everyone knew we're pedophiles. Look, it's obvious we're pedophiles and nobody cares. Which is also why it's so important we call them out.
Yeah, so as you can see, we were told here that he was sure to be rich for 96. We were told this is the last interview, right? Here's a Pac with a big nose and Pac with a small nose. We were shown.
See, I get a feeling there are two Tupacs. See, I get a feeling there are two Tupacs.
Not the same Tupac, believe me. This is not the same Tupac, believe me.
So they are absolutely following the rules of Satanism. They're telling you there's two Tupacs. You know what I mean? They're showing you everything. And they're not dissing Mickey Mouse. They're dissing Jesus and marrying them. Listen to this Biggie verse right here.
I didn't want to go to heaven anyway, but my mama got me on my knees with my hands gripped, talking about some praise the Lord shit. Hail Mary, fuck her, I never knew her. I probably screw her and dump her body in the sewer.
Hey, dude just literally said he'll screw the Virgin Mary, kill her, and drop her body in a sewer.
Now with this outlaw lifestyle that I've been introduced to, money and hoes keep us close to Lucifer, steady seducing us, and I'm all for it. This the life for me, and the Lord can't spoil it.
He said keeps us close to Lucifer, and the Lord can't stall it, that he's being seduced. Right? Hey, peep what's going on here. They've been telling us all along, y'all. Look at life after death right there. If you pay attention, you can see that they tricked us, but they played by the rules of karmic retribution, the rules of Satanism. The truth is hiding in plain sight. That's the rule. They can't trick us, remember? Go look up numbers in Hebrew, and you'll see that a 6 looks like a 7. So when you see 777, it really says 666, if you're looking at it as the language of God. Remember the Tupac movie where it showed the weird 7s on the board? The name Tupac, T-U-P-A-C, breaks down to the number 7 in numerology. 7, they got shot on the 7th and died on the 7th day. 777. Look how our biggest celebrities are tied into this.
This number is of an intensified vibration and potency. In spiritual
This hasn't even come out yet, right? It's not even April 21st yet. Add it up though, 4 + 2 + 1. It's going to be released on the 7th. It's always been like this. And even supposedly with Tupac dead, it's still going on. Here's a picture of Eloise Garland, Billy Garland's mom, Pac's father's mother. And here's a picture of Akil's grandmother. They're the same exact person, y'all. Here's a picture of Assata Shakur. She escaped to Cuba, some gangster story, right? There's Akil's mom. That's Assata Shakur. They're the same exact person. Mopreme, Tupac's brother, Mopreme Shakur, literally is in touch and following Akil the MC online. And here it is right here. You're going to be able to see it. This is all real, y'all. Same exact family members. Right? I mean, seriously, how much more proof do you need? You know? The trolls are like, this ain't him. Really?
He knew he was leaving early. He wanted us to be able to handle it when he left.
So I don't know if you guys know by now, but the lady Don that's on Instagram, she's actually Tupac's cousin, and she's actually the one that took this picture. So she took this picture of her sister with Tupac. So she's the owner of this picture, right? You know, man, it's just a lot of fishy shit going on. And when it's a lot of fishy shit going on, I'm going to call it out for what it is, bro. So Tupac's cousin, she's actually the owner of this goddamn picture, right? Now check this out. If Akil the MC is not Tupac, right? And if Akil has nothing to do with Tupac, what is this woman doing inside of Akil's comment section? And why is she always posting pictures and videos of Akil if Akil the MC is not Tupac? But this lady, the lady Don, that's actually Tupac's cousin. And she's the owner of this picture right here. So she's the one that took this picture, man. And this is her right here admitting that she took the picture. Somebody said, finally, the owner of this picture. And she was like, yes, that's him and my sister. So what is she doing inside of Akil's comment section? What is she doing being cool with Akil's wife? Why is she always posting pictures of Akil and videos of Akil if Akil the MC is not Tupac? And if you guys don't believe me, here's a picture of her with Akil's wife. And here's a picture of her with Akil. So this woman used to have studio sessions with Tupac back in the day. This woman right here, she used to have studio sessions with Pac. Back in the day, used to have smoke sessions with Tupac. Back in the day, because this is Tupac's what? This is one of Tupac's relatives. She's related to Pac. Let me ask you this. What is she doing with Akil? If Akil the MC doesn't have anything to do with Tupac, and if this woman right here if she knew Tupac back in the day, and if she's related to Tupac, what is she doing with Akil? Does that make any sense? So let me get this straight. The owner of this picture, Tupac's cousin, right? This is Tupac's cousin right here. The owner of this picture right here, right? The one that used to have studio sessions with Tupac, the one that used to have smoke sessions with Tupac back in the day, right? She just happens to be cool with Akil's wife, and she just happens to be cool with Akil. And now she's having studio sessions with Akil on her Instagram. Man, if you guys can't see by now what the fuck is going on, then I don't know what to tell you, man. It's time to wake the fuck up, bro. How many fucking coincidences do you people need to see? I done pointed out over 100 of them motherfuckers, man. It's time to wake up. If Akil the MC wasn't Tupac, then she wouldn't be cool with him. Come on now, wake the fuck up. The owner of that fucking picture, bro. She took that picture of Tupac with her fucking sister, bro. Man, wake your ass up, bro. It's time to wake up, man. So I'm sick and tired of people telling me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have proof. You don't know what you're saying. But when I see something fishy, I'm going to call this shit out. This shit fishy as hell. What is Tupac's cousin doing with Akil? Answer me that question.
At this point, it should be painfully obvious that Akil the MC is Tupac, because that's his family.
Pee-wee. Twin brother, give us the lowdown on that. We really don't know. We've been
Twin brother.
Yeah, Pee-wee. I mean, people say you're a twin.
And then they wonder why we crazy. I blame my mother for turning my brother into a crack baby.
People that believe in God, there's something in the scriptures where Satan has to go before God and ask permission to tamper with Job's life. And so using those kind of incidences as a framework, people say that God insists that evil broadcast what they're going to do, you know, that they don't have a free ticket just to go and do evil, but they have to tell you.
So pharmacia from fallen, pharmacia comes from the fallen angels. And it's by no coincidence that the nickname for the pharmaceutical industry is Big Pharma. Now, Big Pharma is responsible for some interesting drugs, and we're going to look at a couple of those names and their spelling. And one of them that's tearing up a lot of my nieces and nephews out there that might be watching is Xanax. Look at the word Xanax. It's interesting. They call them Z-bars, and the word does not have a Z in it. It's spelled with X's. And it's spelled the same way forward and backward. Now, my knowledge of demonology tells me, and my discernment, that this is a demon name. Demonic names are often able to be written the same way forward and backward.
And my knowledge and discernment is telling me that this is a demonic name. There is no Ruckus, New Mexico. That's fictional, y'all. But Ruckus backwards is Shakur, and Ruckus is the name for chaos.
Even as a youngster, causing ruckus on the back of the bus.
The Jurassic 5s, and then, you know, it's all this rockets, and, you know, all this, you know, it's a whole new energy.
All of a sudden, it's starting to become clear, isn't it?
Destroying bang on motherfuckers even trying to bring the ruckus. Peace.
Hey, he said the preacher wants me buried. Why? Because I know he's a liar. He's denying the word of God, y'all. He's denying the word of God. This is all one satanic example after another.
What up, what up, what up? Akil the MC from the J5 MCs. JDZ Media. Spitfire. Word. I delivered the word from the Kurt to the suburb, the nerd, the church, and the niggas that smoke his herb. I'm here in New Jersey. My verse can be heard all over the earth. My words were so searching.
Hey, I wouldn't even be trying to say Shakira backwards if I was y'all. That's a demonic name. That thing is trying to portray itself as Jesus while denying God at the same exact time.
Show children naked dancing around fires in multiple photo shoots. You don't accidentally put bondage gear with children on accident across multiple photo shoots. The odds of that being a statistical accident, you're better off. You can win the lottery. That's ridiculous. It was on purpose, completely satanic. They did it specifically, and they did it to show you and tell you what they're doing. One, because they're trying to assault your senses, and two, because if you actually understand the truth of Satanism, most people don't know this about the world. If you understand how Satanists work and think, Satanists believe in karmic retribution. They don't believe they're allowed to trick you. If you believe in Satan, if you worship Satan, if you're a Satanist, you believe it's important you tell people what you're going to do, because then you will not pay the price. There'll be no karmic retribution for your actions. So let me give you an example. If I sell poison apples, and I put up a sign saying apples, and you buy one, and you die, then you were poisoned. If I sell poison apples and I put up a sign saying poison apples, and then you buy one and you die, you committed suicide. The fact that I told you what it was means I'm not guilty. I didn't murder you. You committed suicide. So when you do bad things, when you do evil things, the Satanist handbook, you can look this up yourself, the satanic religion says, you have to make it clear to them what you're doing. And if they don't resist, if they don't stand up against it, then they are complicit. They're agreeing that what's happening is okay. So by telling you they're pedophiles and nobody do anything about it, they could sit there and go, well, everyone knew we're pedophiles. Look, it's obvious we're pedophiles and nobody cares. Which is also why it's so important we call them out.
Wanting to be an artist and having to be this person who I think would have ended up being a politician or activist. But at that time, I didn't have a real relationship with Tupac as it related to his history of his mother being in the Panthers and how most of his mentors were in jail. He never mentioned his mother to me. His family was living.
This brother here, this kid just said, please, you know, talk. Let them know, because he's not going to tell them about Assange. He's not going to tell them about Assange.
Assange Shakur is a sister who I feel America makes.
Drugs, the COINTELPRO, the East-West war. But that's the war against the Black Messiah. Tupac was the Black Messiah.
Right, definitely.
You know, Tupac Amaru Shakur, but, you know, I ain't gonna go there. Let's, you know.
No, I see that. I see that, you know.
Indeed.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit we trying to,
conjure back up.
Conjure back up. And I don't like to say it like, we're bringing it back, you know, like, because...
Well, what is revolution?
Because
revolution is the revolving, right, of a cycle.
Exactly.
Because life is...
Hey, this was written years in advance. You were told years in advance. He said, I died and came back. Brothers getting shot, coming back, resurrected. All those things are in those songs. Because remember, they can't trick you. They have to tell you. I'm sorry to inform y'all, but all this is very real. These entities, these dark entities, they definitely believe it. And I believe it too. So you better make sure you're on the right team, y'all. Straight up, man. I pray for all y'all. I'm definitely not getting paid to do this. I'm literally just trying to do the right thing, man. Odias 7, y'all. Peace.
I wonder if you ever known that everything you own in this life, the next life is all gone.
I think Pac, by most people, is viewed as the greatest rapper of all time because he had a futuristic pen about himself. His pen sometimes wrote the future, and it told a story of what it's going to be as opposed to what it is.
Pay attention.
When the East Coast and the West Coast and the Middle America get together, we got power.
Right.
And that's when I won't throw it up no more. When we all together, they only see me doing like this. And that's when we closer to Armageddon. But we ain't there.
Remember, they have to tell us everything. In this video, it's 2095, and it looks like Armageddon has fallen upon them. This is not the same America. It looks like it got blown up and they're barbarians or some shit. In the Bible, it talks about a nation that turns its back on God. If you look at these quarters, you'll see in 2021, it said, "In God we trust," and it was in front of our face. In 2022, on the quarter, it is now behind our backs, as if we turned our back on God. What I'm really trying to show you is way bigger than the Tupac brothers. And this is a sign that they've ushered us into darker times and hit the switch on us.
I don't know what it is that got me acting all crazy out here. Guess it's just my environment, how you people be treated. Until the end of time. Shit, you acting well. Ain't no mystery. You get what you give. Feel me? Look come like that. I can't tell you what.
I know they coming for me. I've been hesitant to reappear. Been away for years, never back my ass.
Let it disappear on them. You wait umpteen years, reappear on them. You think it's just a game, but he really watching. They think give him that change that could really stop him.
Blocky baby cause I know they coming for me. I've been hesitant to reappear. Been away for years, never back my ass.
Let it disappear on them. You wait umpteen years, reappear on them. You think it's just a game, but he really watching. They think give him that change that could really stop him.
Say I'm Tupac.
Just pull a trigger, busted and disgusted. Just can't be trusted. You know the rules. Busted and disgusted. Busted and disgusted.
For knowledge itself is real wealth, but I'll bet you more. Busted and disgusted, not to be trusted. Busted and disgusted, not to be trusted.
Busted and disgusted. Just can't be trusted. You know the rules.
Busted and disgusted, not to be trusted.
We got us a fat ass blunt right here. I done caught plenty touchdowns in this end zone right here.
Don't like this rhyme, then bring your big bad ass to California, cause we ain't hard to find. Influenced by
hard to find.
Hard to find. Was it hard to find?
But it ain't hard to find.
We used to do them as adolescents, do you recall?
Chop it up and stretch it. Assembly line grind, define my adolescence.
When this began, we was the perfect match, perhaps. We had some
Your love don't compute, perhaps you need a boost. A magical flute, some notes.
My lyrics explode on contact.
Bitters and sweet, hit your soul on contact.
Besides rapping, only thing I did good was scrapping. Until the end of time.
My sweet Valentine, to love, hold, and cherish to the end of time. Am I blind?
Don't trip of what they lips say. Even when the media is getting greedier, you make their hips sway. Creeping with the blonde ambition.
Real life folk, so when shit jump off, they ain't afraid to let their mic smoke. I was connected with some real life folk, so when shit jump off. So when shit jump off.
A nigga's full of passion, satisfaction is everlasting.
Who wants action, satisfaction? Lyrics remind you of bass, I'm everlasting. Cat, you're out of time, feels good to you, baby bubba.
It feel good to you, baby bubba.
Something about the way you make me feel. I get a tingle in my spine, get a chill.
It's a lot of real G's doing time. Cause the groupie bit the truth and told a lie.
That's what the Fed said. Meters in the red, another rapper dead. 2 to the head, causing more bloodshed. 2 to the head, causing more bloodshed.
While I'm sleeping, shoot to the head. While I'm in bed, licking blood on my satin sheets.
Knowledge itself is real wealth, but I'll bet you more. Busted and disgusted, not to be trusted.
Just pull a trigger, busted and disgusted. Just can't be trusted, you know the rules. Just cut my nose up and, you know, bug out.
Even trying to bring the ruckus. Peace. Trying to bring the ruckus. Bring the ruckus. Think of motherfuckers even trying to bring the ruckus.
The conscious, but when you look at me, tell me what you really see. Am I an ex-slave rapper from the ghetto streets with no knowledge and understanding of what it is to be free? Americanized.
I'd rather die than be trapped in the living hell. They got me trapped.
Living that live life's experience, yo, consider it done. Witness the old and young, survival of the fittest. Yo, my spirit is one breath with my lungs and my heartbeat drums to death. But I'ma live it till it ain't none left. Just tones carry on with my legacy.
Just tones carry on with my legacy.
I'm called, I'ma die for the cause, and I'll be right there.
But you'll never do it, that's right for the cause. Yes, I'll die for the cause. My best believer, so John, that's right for the cause. Yes, I'll die for the cause.
Renegade rebel that'll die for the cause. That'll die for the cause.
And to be fresh is to be different from the next person's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like how I'm rocking this Stadia right here. Being fresh is being an individual and being different from the next. I may have the same clothes on as you, but I'm gonna wear my thing a little different. You may have the same thing that I got on. I'm just gonna rock my hat just a little bit different. I'm just gonna rock my hat just a little bit different. I'm just gonna rock my hat just a little bit different. Just so I can look different.
You support me, I'll support you. If I feel like I ain't got no support, then, you know, ain't no need in me being out here and put myself on Front Street. If I feel like I'm getting supported, I go all the way. Just like I went all the way for Thug Life, I go all the way for the community. But as soon as y'all turn y'all back on me, I'll turn my back on y'all, and we won't have nothing to talk about. You know what I mean? I go ahead and do something crazy, and cut my nose up and, you know, bug out. Cut my nose up and, you know, bug out, you know, bug out.
It's the new me, baby. It's the new me, baby. Yeah. Hey, why have drama? Nigga, your baby mama stay right around the corner. I can touch it if I fucking wanna. So why you wanna insist that this? I got your name at the top of the fucking dead bitch list. Me, Mr. Machiavelli's terror. Mac of the year, thug of the era. Death row with outlaws. Nobody does this shit better. My lyrics explode on contact, best prepared for combat. Ain't no stopping, so bomb back. It's the last days, niggas is dying for bullshit. Mac 11 is heavy, yet I'm ready to pull quick. Niggas ain't ready for a brother that's living major. Been witness to a sick motherfucker that's spitting razors. When I cut them, they cut. When I stick them, they stuck. And my ambition's to bust, cause I ain't giving a fuck. We tore the neighborhood up. Look at all the shit that we did, murders.
I had never left.
If I had to make a class about double speech, right? From everything that I've looked at, just myself, I would tell you that just Drake himself buying these 2 chains, right? One's fire, one's ice, one's gold, one's silver. Just look at them, spending this much money on these 2 twin chains, calling them Jesus pieces, right? Hey, remember what that man said? You can't even make it in the professional world unless you can double speak on another level. You can't make it on a Beyonce level, Michael Jackson level, Tupac level, Drake level. You can't do that unless you can play this game of duality. That's the only way they got it set up just like that, y'all. Hey, man. 2 different people play Tupac. That means that no one person died in that car. You know? And Akil the MC, who is right there with the same guy you can clearly see is right there with Tupac, is one of those twins.
All of a sudden, I was out on bail pending my appeal. If I win my appeal, which if God wills, I will, I would have done 11 months for nothing.
What does sept mean? 7. I thought that was the 9th month.
More important to me now. The niggas see that this is not no accident. I plotted every single step from this to this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything was plotted.
It's ill that the next shit is called Illuminati, because that's really what the Illuminati's on.
That's why I put the K to it.
Right.
In the late 1990s, my sister-in-law told me I should come to Bible study with her. And I gave it to her real good. I persecuted her and I laughed at her, and I told her that, you know, I only believed in what was logical and conclusive. I was playing poker professionally, and if I believed in something, I needed, like, mathematical evidence.
eyewitness testimony, I didn't accept that either. I said if we're going to have something that we could say is a definite and absolute, it has to be proved with numbers, mathematically. I still believe that, because science tells us that anything we see, hear, taste, or touch is just our brain receiving a message, which means that we can be tricked. It means that something could be an illusion. It means that what we see or what we hear is not necessarily truth, but numbers don't lie. Pythagoras said numbers are universal language. C.S. Lewis said there are two kinds of truths. Real truths, like mathematics, and conventional truths. For instance, a conventional truth is, in America, we drive on the right side of the street. That's a conventional truth. In England, they drive on the left side of the street. A real truth is 10 times 2 is 20. That goes the same anywhere. For instance, if you take a person and you put him on a desert island the moment he's born and he never heard of the multiplication table, it still applies to him. It's still a real truth, whether he knows about it or not. Numbers are real truths. C.S. Lewis said that. All mathematicians would agree with that. If you go in a courtroom, forensic evidence will override the eyewitness testimony every time, because numbers don't lie. If the DNA test says I raped the girl, there's a 900 million to 1 chance I did. And when the numbers come in, the eyewitness testimony goes out the window. It doesn't count anymore. I mean, are you going to believe a DNA test or me? Okay, with that said, I'm going to say some facts now. When you debate me back, don't debate me back what the Bible calls words without knowledge or words without backup. I'm going to give you all facts, things that aren't my opinion. So when you debate me back, give me back facts and things that aren't opinions either. Okay, no theories and no opinions. Get a pen and paper. You're going to have to write some names down. I'm going to do some simple addition. Anyway, fact number 1. There's something called gematria. Write it down. It's spelled G-E-M-A-T-R-I-A. Fact number 2. Gematria has been going on for thousands of years. They do it in the Hebrew language, and they do it in the Greek language, and now we're going to do it in the English language. It's very interesting because the English language has only been around 550 years. Gematria has been going on for thousands of years. Okay. Fact number 2. When you take the English language and you start to do gematria with it, you get some results that are statistical monstrosity. Let's get a pen and paper. We're going to do some simple English gematria. Write those 3 words down, in fact. Write the word simple, then underneath it write English, underneath it write gematria, because we're going to add them up later. I'll explain what that means in a minute. Since gematria is taking alphabets, turning every letter into a number, and then you add up a name, and the name has a number. For instance, let's take the English alphabet, and we're going to do simple English gematria. Simple means you start the first letter with a 1. The second letter is a 2. For instance, A equals 1. B equals 2. C equals 3. We do this all the way to Z. The Z would be 26. Now, if we were to add the word cab, C-A-B, in English gematria, fact is, not my opinion, it would add up to 6. Reason being, the C is a 3 because it's the third letter. The A is a 1 because it's the first letter. The B is a 2 because it's the second letter. So C-A-B equals 3 plus 1 plus 2 equals 6. Simple English gematria, the word cab equals 6. Let's add up the word simple. The S is 19. The I is 9. The M is 13. The P is 16. The L is 12. And the E is 5. When you add the word simple, it adds up to 74. If you go to a website, it's called English Gematria Calculator. You can Google that now. You put a name in, it gives you 3 numbers. It gives you the Jewish gematria. We're not doing that for now. But then it gives you the simple gematria, and it gives you English gematria. We're doing the simple gematria now because we want to keep this easy. We want to keep it simple. Anyway, English gematria, they just take that same simple number and they multiply it times 6. For instance, in simple gematria, the word cab, we've established the word cab equals 6. So what would be simple in English gematria? It would be 36, because 6 times 6 is 36. I don't want to get anybody confused. Right now we're sticking to the simple formula. Take an alphabet. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, all the way to Z. We added the word cab, that was 6. We added the word simple, that was 74. The next word we're going to add is the word English. E-N-G-L-I-S-H. The E is 5. The N is 14. The G is 7. I'm not going to reread every one like that, but the word English, if you add the totals, adds up to 74 also. Okay, no big coincidence yet. The word gematria, G-E-M-A-T-R-I-A. If we take the total of that word, that adds up to 74 also. Now we have a pretty small coincidence here. It's a 1 in 10,000 shot. The word simple is 74, the word English is 74, and the word gematria is 74. I'm going to tell you how we do the math on this, on why that's a 10,000 to 1 shot. You see, when you take an average random name, like the word simple, or the name Jesus, or the name Jordan, the basketball player Michael Jordan, there's 98 different combinations that an average name can come out to. For instance, the word arena, A-R-E-N-A, added up to 39. Then you got words like superstar, which adds up to 137. Every time you take a random man's name, there's 100 combinations of possibility that the name can answer up to. Alright, I don't want to confuse this, so I'm going to make this simple. What's the odds on flipping a coin and getting heads? If me and you make a bet, I got heads, you got tails, what is your chance of winning? Your chance of winning is 1 out of 2, because there's only 2 combinations. Now, what's your chance of flipping a head and getting 5 heads in a row? If you ask any mathematician, he'll tell you just take the bottom number, that's the number of possibilities, and multiply it times itself. Since there's 5 in a row, we want to know what's the odds of flipping 5 heads in a row, and the chance on flipping it is 1 out of 2 to flip 1. You just take the bottom number, which is 2, and you multiply it times itself that many times. Sounds confusing, it's not. What's the chance on flipping a head 1 time? The chance would be 1 out of 2. What would be my odds of getting 2 heads in a row? It'd be 2 times 2. It'd be 1 out of 4. What would be the chance of flipping 3 heads in a row? You just take that bottom number and multiply it times itself. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. The chance on flipping 3 heads in a row is 1 out of 8. What's the chance on flipping 5 heads in a row? Well, 1 out of 2 times 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 1 out of 2. Just multiply the bottom number. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. The chance on flipping 5 heads in a row is 1 out of 32. The reason is because there's only 2 possible combinations. When you take a random man's name, for instance, we'll take the name Jordan. J-O-R-D-A-N. We add that up in simple English gematria. It comes out to 62. Now, I went over to the same mathematician. I told him, give me some names involving Jordan. He said, basketball. I said, yeah, I wrote that down. You have to get a pen and paper and add these up. Go to the calculator on Google. You could Google English gematria calculator. You'll find it. Anyway, Jordan added up to 62. And these were the other names he gave me that said had something to do with Jordan. Basketball. I said, yep. Chicago. Yep. Bulls. Pippen. Jackson. Best ever, all-star, arena, slam dunk, superstar, winners. We're going to get these totals. The odds on matching 5, like if Jordan, basketball, Chicago Bulls, Pippen, and Jackson came to the same number, that would be a 1 in 100 million shot. Okay, let's do the totals and see what they come out to. Jordan, that added up to 62. Basketball, that added up to 85. Chicago, that added up to 46. Bulls, that added up to 66. Pippen, that was 76. You can do the math yourself. Check with the calculator. Best ever, 96. All-Star, 83. Arena, 39. Slam Dunk, 95. Superstar, 137. Winners, 102. There was not one match on that. Now take any random man's name on the planet. Any man's name. Any guy you like, take his other names, take the things that have to do with him, take your name, start taking names that have to do with each other and start adding up numbers. You're never going to find a pattern of names that you get 10 in a row that add up to the same number. For instance, imagine I went to the mathematician and told him Jordan was 62. Basketball was 62. Chicago was 62. Bulls was 62. Pippen was 62. Jackson was 62. He wouldn't believe it. He'd say that was a 1 in 100 million shot. Well, here's the fact in English gematria. We're going to take some names from the Bible. We know simple adds up to 74. We know the word English adds up to 74. We know the word gematria adds up to 74. We know the word Messiah adds up to 74. Oh, actually, you didn't know that, but I'm telling you now. You ready? The word Jewish, 74. The word Messiah, 74. The word Jesus has 3 names. We'll take his 3 names in the languages that they do gematria in. Hebrew, Greek, and English. His Greek name is Jesus. That added up to 74. His Hebrew name was Yeshua, with no E, Y-S-H-U-A. That added up to 74. His English name is Joshua. That added up to 74. We took the word cross. I would say that's pretty closely related to Jesus. That added up to 74. We took the word gospel. There would be no word gospel if it wasn't for Jesus. That added up to 74. We took the word preacher. There would be no preacher. That added up to 74. We took the word parables. Come on, who would know what parables were if it wasn't for Jesus? That added up to 74. We took some other words from the Bible. Menorah, the king, increase, fruit, obedient. Anyway, let me give you the whole list of names in English that will always be the same number, no matter how you change the A. You can use any number you want. You can make A1, B2. You could change the letters and the numbers around. These names will always be the same in a language that came 550 years, 3,000 years after, 2,000 years after they started this practice. These names will always be the same in our language. Simple, English, gematria, Jewish, Messiah, Jesus, Yeshua, Joshua, cross, gospel, preacher, parables, menorah, the king. Anyway, in simple English gematria, they add up to 74. Times 6, those names add up to 444. Now, I know there's people seeing this number all over the world. You can Google it. What's 444 mean? People are tattooing it on themselves, and they're seeing it, and they're getting signs, and they're seeing it. Anyway, in English gematria, those names all come to 444. Simple, 444. English, 444. Gematria, 444. Jewish, 444. Messiah, 444. Jesus, Yeshua, Joshua, cross, gospel, preacher, parables. Here's another strange coincidence. In English gematria, let me just tell you a fact first. Fact number 2. Revelation 13:18 says, "Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate." The original Greek actually says count. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate. The number of the beast is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Well, in English gematria, where all those totals added up to 444, and yes, I did show mathematicians, and they just start stuttering. I have not gotten an answer for this, except for people getting angry at me. Anyway, fact is, if you take the word mark of beast in English gematria, that adds up to 666. If you take the word lustful, that adds up to 666. These words are from the Bible, by the way. Stubborn, 666. Witchcraft, 666. Sorcerer, 666. Sorceries, 666. Illusion. Remember I said I trusted math more than what I see and hear because anything could be an illusion? People can lie. People can trick you. Illusion, 666. Someone said...
Machiavelli does make a 10, but it's more like the J for Judas.
Tell me I ain't God, son. Nigga, mama virgin. We got addicted.